Lahat. Nung una, just for fun, pero ngayon naging passion ko na to eh. So, walang football, parang manghihina yung katawan mo eh. So, para sa Kaya FC, proud na proud ako kasi ito ang team na to na sumuporta sa amin kahit na down na lahat. Hindi kami iniwan, so thankful ako na nandito ako sa Kaya FC. Siguro sa masasabi ko, malaking tulong yung ginawa ng PFL, lalo na yun nga, yung football, hindi ganun kasikat na sports, pero napatunayan na kaya ng PFL mag-provide ng league. At ngayon nga, magsa-start na this coming month, so magpapasalamat ako ng marami sa PFL also. Isa lang yung target ng team, to get the championship and maglaro sa AFC. Champions League. So yun, expect nyo na ibibigay namin ang lahat sa loob ng 90 minutes. Sa 5 games na yan, magkakasiguro kayong magiging masaya kayo sa papanoorin nyo sa Kaya FC. Para sa akin, lahat naman challenging, pero di natin mawala yung United. Siguro yun yung kumbaga magiging mahirap na kalaban, pero alam namin na may bubuga kami as Kaya FC, and may makakaya kami.
For it, Kaya FC with the opener, Kenshiro Daniels burned him for pace. Great hitter! Third goal for UCFC. The Lizzo Candace of UCFC. Robert Lopez now into the scoreboard for that goal. Yenbe hits the crossbar and a lovely weighted pass, or a lovely weighted shot into the path of Robert Lopez Mendy. Busy. I like his crazy stuff. Lifting that one. When you have patience, there's the first goal! Maharlika Manila's first goal in the Philippines football league, tucked away by Jose Montelibano. Great pass. Boyer wide open. Touch and strike that sun. Goal for Maharlika Manila, his first chance, and they've taken the lead. Wow. Substitute Jeremy Doyer has put Maharlika Manila in front.
Hi everyone, my name is MARVIN, midfielder for EDT Football Club. And yeah, the last game was a little bit unlucky for us because we lost 1-0. A little bit of controversy was, I don't know if it was offside or not, but we take it as a learning experience, as our team is for developing players. We started a little bit higher this game compared to the last game against United. So we show that we cannot also just defend, but also press higher in the field. And I think we were unlucky. We could have a little bit more. We had more chances in this game compared to the last one. And as my game, it's I play in the second half, and I think I give a little bit more experience in the second half. Well, the next game again, I think it was Scott already talked about in the previous interviews that we want to press as we press against Kaya and try to get more possession of the ball. And I think a little bit more experience for the young boys, but they're doing fine also. They're doing good, and try to bring a little bit also about the tactical and technical position.
Hi, I'm Jordan Jarvis. I play for United City Football Club, and our last game was Manjola FC 1991. We came out with a great result. We won 6-0, and as a team, we did our best. We possessed the ball. We played our game, and we came out with as the results say, we came out the better team. It was my first start for the team, and actually it was a bit difficult to adjust in the beginning. It was my first time playing three at the back, playing as a center back, and well, I learned from our senior players throughout the trainings we've been going through, and I think I put in the best work I could. And defensive wise, I think I did a pretty good job. I mean, we didn't concede any goals, so sounds good for us. We did really well. We kept the ball a lot, and we did what coach told us to do. And 6-0, maybe it was a good result. I mean, who would complain with 6-0? But I think we could have gotten more. But then also there were also decisions from the referee, which also affected our game. I mean, we were supposed to be given I think personally we were supposed to be given a penalty in the first 5 minutes, but it didn't come through to us. But 6-0 is still justifiable, and we'll take that.
Hello, I'm P. FLORES, striker of Manjola FC 1991. Yung last game, unfortunately, hindi siya napunta sa amin na good game kasi sa dami ng obstacles na pinagdaanan ng team. I understand na nag-work yung team pa rin kahit papaano. I'm proud of the boys pa rin kasi they did what they can. Kumbaga, ginawa pa rin nila yung makakaya ng lahat para matapos yung game. And I'm proud of the boys na hindi sila sumuko until the last minute ng game. Yun nga lang, syempre, it's still a bad game for us kasi it's 6-0. But of course, Manjola will always get back. I think it will start sa preparation ng team kasi yung first game namin, before wala kaming gaanong training session, so mahirap na mag-start kaagad, diretso game na. So I think this second game, I think we can do better kasi nakapag-training kami ng 2 days. Nagawa nga namin yung game plan kanina sa training session namin, and napag-usapan ng lahat yung mga mistake ng isa't isa. We accept each others na lahat kami nagkamali during the first game, and nag-usap-usap na lang yung buong management na we have to fight for this next 4 games. I'm really looking forward sa match tomorrow kasi these are the young guns these are the future of Philippines. I'm very happy for them kasi when I was young, wala akong opportunity katulad nila. So I'm so happy na itong mga batang to maglalaro tomorrow. Kasi yung gusto lang naman nila is chance to prove themselves, and I'm very happy for them na mapoprove nila yun during this year. So tomorrow, we will challenge them, of course. We will give them a good fight. And let's hope for the best na lang.
I invite everyone to watch our game in the PFL Facebook page, and thank you for everyone for supporting us.
Inaanyayaan ko po kayong lahat manood bukas.
Tuesday, November 3rd, we'll be playing against Maharlika Manila FC, 8 p.m. Tune in and support United City Football Club.
Alas 9 ng umaga, kalaban ng Ascal's Development Team sa PFL Facebook page, PFL YouTube. Maraming salamat po sa pagsuporta.
How
would you describe your perfect journey? Does it begin with the Airbus A350, with its distinctive cockpit windows and sleek wingtips? Is it in the comfort and privacy of your own personal Qsuite?
Is your perfect journey one where you saw the blue skies in a greener way? The A350 uses less fuel than the A380, reducing CO2 emissions, making it a more environmentally friendly option.
Is your perfect journey a breath of fresh air, one where the air is filtered and replaced every 2 minutes, ensuring you can breathe easy? Does it have perfectly curated lighting, helping to reduce jet lag from a long flight?
Is your perfect journey a connected one? Experience complimentary Wi-Fi throughout your entire flight.
So, why fly on yesterday's plane when you can have the perfect journey on tomorrow's? The Qatar Airways A350. Newer, greener, better.
Yeah, so overall it was a good game. Good game by the team. It was more or less a fucking good effort from the team. After first game we lost. But yeah, like it was a good win for us, good win for the club, and the first win in our club history. And scoring the first goal for the club was a great momentum shift, just for the game and for the season as well. Like it shows that we can go even further in this competition. Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult for us because this is our first game. Then we stay in the hotel like 5 days with we cannot train. That's why it's not easy for us. We need to next game we need to adjust. And then our team it's like up and down. But yeah, we fight until the end of the game.
Yeah, the game was a good game for both teams. We knew that we were going to play against a young team, a hungry team that lost against the first games. Us, we continue with the winning mentality. We came over here knowing that it was going to be tough, but the whole team took it in a good way. We struggled together, we suffered together until the end of the game, and that's what we need, and hopefully we continue this way.
stage is set in the 2020 Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. This could be the match that determines whether or not United City claim the title, or will Stallions upset the title favorites and extend the contest by another day? Big questions here, especially for United. Do they have the wherewithal to be able to get a result that everyone expects them to get? Or will Stallion provide another surprise, another twist in the plot? In the continuing coverage here in the Philippines Football League, my name is Paulo Del Rosario, alongside my partner for today, Darren Hartman, and we are looking at a side in UCFC who have looked the most dominant, the most ready to take on Asia in general, against a Stallions team who have honestly just come together in the past few days after clearing all the health protocols and only getting a single game together as a complete team.
Well, the way that I look at this is these are two sides who, in their history, have actually picked up or won the top division in the Philippines. United City, as the former Ceres, have won it several times back to back to back, but Stallions are one of those teams that have been there or thereabouts, and quite often in Philippine football history have Stallions been there to upset other teams as well and take points of other teams. So when we're looking at this standing with the result of the Ascars development team, putting them in contention for also finishing on 9 points if they do beat Stallions in their next game. But what we really see is that Stallions are holding their destiny in their own hands. 3 points for Stallions today does a lot. 3 points for United City actually wins in the championship. So is this game important? Yes, especially because of the result that we had this morning between Mindiola and Kaya.
Stallion Laguna will want to knock on the door of Asia. They want to represent the Philippines, and a win here will go a long way to get there. Let's take a look at United City FC, and they are the most dominant team by a stretch. So 6 goals against Mindiola in their second game after what was a very low-scoring game and 1-0. Considering the fact that in their last game, 10 goals over Maharlika Manila. They are lethal when they are in form. And their coaching staff has been saying that they have been showcasing some of the best Asian football right here in the Philippines. Mike Ott, the man to watch today.
Yeah, I'm happy to say that United City really are a team that have momentum. Mike Ott has been a huge part of that, obviously playing alongside his brother Manny Ott. The connection is there, and really that core of United City has been unchanged for the last few seasons, and it's a very dependable core with Stefan Strock in the mix as well, and of course Marignon up front, who has only been reinforced now by Mendy, who has been on the score sheet in the last game picking up a hat-trick. So I mean, there's goals all round. It's a seasoned team, and Stallions will have to put in a big shift today to stop the momentum of this side.
Well, Coach Frank was talking to us before the game, talking about the type of build-up, the type of patient build-up that they need to have to get over Stallions. We all know that Stallions is going to be a disciplined team, a hard-working team, and maybe that type of patience would be the key to unlocking the defense. Let's watch this.
Coach Frank, the results this morning gravely affecting the title race. What are your expectations in this match against Stallion Laguna?
In today's match? Against, first of all, the result of Kaya against Mindiola. No, it's help us really to get on to the top spot. All right, and then against Stallion tonight, I think it's consistency. It's gonna be the same like the way we play. Our coaching or our playing style is gonna be like the same. Still dominate the possession. We're gonna be patient in our build-up until such time we're gonna look for an opening, how to break their last line of defense. But for sure, we're gonna display same, a pure class of quality and high level of football.
Coach Frank, always insightful there. Let's take a look at the starting 11 of United City FC, and a wherever you look, there are winners here. There are goal scorers. There are difference makers, and really tough to find a weakness in this strong team.
And it looks as if they'll be playing with three at the back and really be reliant on the work rate of OJ and Minagishi out wide. I mean, two very good players, very comfortable on the ball, and I mean, in terms of defensive understanding, I think that Maniot gives you that stability in the middle. So if Manny had to drop back into a central position and allow Kane to switch out to the right, that could happen as well. So it's a team that has a lot of flexibility. Coach Frank has an abundance of talent that he can play with, and also with a big game against Kaya, sometimes it's going to be important not to show all your cards. So a slight change in formation now is a good tactical decision to make.
Of course, that game could be rendered a dead rubber one if they get a victory here. Take a look at their substitutes as well. So United also with weapons off the bench, a few local talents, a few young players as well. And if ever they need to defend, they have players who can do that also. Very attacking start for United City, and it'll be tough for Stallions to try and contain them. Going on to Stallions, they feel that this is a game that could be a bit of a trap for them. Let's take a look at how they performed so far. So disappointing loss against Maharlika Manila in their debut in the league this season, and a draw against Kaya. So no victories yet, but you have to feel that they have been improving so far in their past two games.
Yeah, I think they've been improving, and also they're a complete squad now. And again, they have momentum. It isn't quite the same as United City, but they will be feeling good about taking points away from Kaya and putting themselves in a position with 3 games left where they can pick up lots of points as long as they perform well. Tonight is a key night in terms of Stallions' progression in this competition.
Well, Ricky Sendra will be one of the guys in midfield tasked to slow down a high-octane UCFC team. Just what type of game can we expect from him, especially knowing what type of pressure he is going to undoubtedly face?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things when you're playing against United City and there's such a strong combination between the 3 players that are playing in the middle, the 2 Ott brothers and Stefan Strock. I don't think it's just about the way that you're playing. I also think it's about the way that you influence the players alongside you. Communication is key if you want to keep the attacking prowess of United City in front of you and under control, knowing when to press. If you press by yourself, they will slip the ball past you. You have got to do things together. So let's see if he has those communication skills as well to make that happen for Stallions.
Coach Ernie Nieres is easily one of the characters of Philippine football. He has been so for many years, very vocal and very interesting, very knowledgeable in the game. Let's listen what he had to say.
For Stallion Laguna, you're already claimed your first point against Kaya. Can we expect any surprises again tonight against United City?
You're playing against the defending champion. And if you look at our previous games last year, we always scored goals on them. Unfortunately, we were not able to hold the scoreline to our advantage. Even the first game last year and the last game of the year, we were up 2-0 already. So I hope we learn from that. The defending champions, so they're the favorites. I hope they're kind of overlooking us a little bit here because they have a game to throw away. So let's just hope that that's what happens. But on our side, we feel good having come off that game against Kaya, and then hopefully we'll be able to build on that, and let's see if we can string 2 straight games doing well. So I like what I'm seeing with the players, and hopefully we'll be able to build it.
Stallions has a reputation of being one of the more disciplined teams, one of the more active teams in the league. They've been so since 2002. Every time you see a pink shirt on a Philippine football pitch, most likely they're Stallions, and most likely they're out to get you. Take a look at how they line up here.
Yeah, Stallions have most certainly been developing that stability and that playing philosophy which they need to take on into the future. They started off with a few young players, giving them a chance, and now they're starting to establish themselves as senior players and have a good understanding of what Coach Ernie Nieres wants to do. This is a team which will be difficult to break down. They will press hard. They do have talent going forward in Melissa and Alquiros and Arboleda, who have already made names for themselves in Philippine football. But the real test is going to be how they hold up across the back against such an attacking side in United City.
Nieres and Regala, products of the collegiate system here in the Philippines. Interesting to see how their talent will translate here to the PFL levels. Take a look at the substitutes as well. So some attacking options here for Coach Ernie Nieres, just in case they start chasing a goal. And who do you see here who can come up with a difference off the bench?
Well, for me, I think Griffin McDaniel's got a lot to prove. He's already come out over here with hopes of playing at a higher level. And when you've got younger players like that in your squad, they will be going out with something to show the rest of the PFL. So, I mean, in terms of squad depth between the two sides, you would say that United City may have the advantage. But nevertheless, it's going to come down to the coaching staff's gut feeling and how they interpret the game, and the incision of substitutes at the right time, considering there are 5 subs, is going to be very, very important.
This game is under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusement Board, and I know the fans aren't at the venue as these players are trying to stay safe within the bubble, so don't forget, you can feel close to them by subscribing to the YouTube channel of the Philippines Football League for more PFL content this season. When we return, kickoff between UCFC and Stallion Laguna FC. United City FC have it all to win. Stallion Laguna, can they crash the party? Can they extend the league? So much riding on this one. The trophy, one hand already United City have on it. And for Stallions, a chance to finally represent the Philippines in Asia. They can keep their hopes alive for that prospect with a victory here. Interesting setup here for both United City and Stallions, both with contrasting costs here. That'll be quite the show. Take a look here at Meliton Palayo. He will be our lead referee. Welcome to the PFF National Training Center in Carmona, Cavite. Para sa lahat na nanonood dito sa Pilipinas, magandang gabi sa inyo. I hope you're enjoying your evening. And for everyone around the world, all our kababayans out there, welcome back home. And to everyone out there who is not Filipino but just wants some great football, well, we hope to showcase to you some of the best Southeast Asian football there is. UCFC, the favorite in all white. Stallion Laguna in black with that pink trim that they are now so famous for in the country. My name is Paulo De Rosario, alongside one of the Philippines' favorite Hartman brothers, Darren Hartman. You know, I say that you have a lot of choices, but honestly, you do. So, a lot of gratitude will go to him for helping develop the best of Philippine football talent here in the country. And we get going. UCFC in all white, playing from left to right of the screen. Stallion Laguna from right to left. They talked about patient build-up early on for UCFC, and you can see that immediately going back, not attacking off the pump. And as I say that now, go immediately to the left side. Tika Minigeshi on the attack and stop there. Stefan Schrock, Philippine team captain, also captain of UCFC. Tackled there, so Stallion really not afraid to get into this.
Well, I think that Stallions have really got to set their defensive stance really, really quickly in this game. Need to let Stefan Schrock know that even though, as you said, he is the captain of the national team, that he's not going to be given any favouritism and he's going to be pressed nice and quick. Stallions are well known for the way that they are drilled, the way that they are prepared. It's a very disciplined setup, it's a very structured setup, and they will need that discipline and that structure today, especially in the first few minutes. Conceding early against a team like United City would be a nightmare.
Oh, Stefan Schrock with a good ball inside. Cleared away. OJ Porteria trying to get it. He does save it. Kane pushes that forward. But Stallion get it back. You can expect a physical affair between these two. As we mentioned before, Stallions are quite known for their commitment, trying to win back the ball at all costs. And for UCFC, there are no pushovers as well. They know they're going to have most of the possession. At least that's what we all predict here. Oh, almost a mistake there. Kane going all the way back to Pintus. Stallions not afraid to press here. They always come in with an attitude to the game.
Yeah, where United City are good is they're patient at rotating the ball across the back, but they are very capable of rotating the ball much higher up the pitch. And Stallions would do well to contain the passes in between the defenders and Maniot, who will probably settle into that defensive centre mid position. But I mean, as you start playing at a higher level, you'll see that there'll be more freedom. It's a great move from Stallions.
Inroads now on the left side. The ball in. Maybe the first chance. Cleared out just to Qsuite again. Good stop there from OJ Porteria. Benvenido Marañón couldn't get the flick. And UCFC in a bit of pressure, but they try to find Marañón on the right side. Pass was just too heavy.
But it's been a good start to the game, and it's nice to see that Stallions have come out after picking up that point against Kaya, just to be so positive and, you know, not be frightened to take the game to United City, both in terms of the way that they're defending and the way that they're going to attack.
I think it's fair to say that the word frightened and Stallions don't go together.
Stallions are, you're right, they are one of the sides which, you know, really roll up their sleeves and play with a lot of passion and pride for their club.
For UCFC, they're showing us a level of professionalism and a respect to the Stallion team that's accorded to them, especially here in the early exchanges. Again, 3 at the back here for UCFC. Do you feel that if you're Stallions and you're looking at the way they're set up, there may be a way to break that down with an incisive low ball?
Yeah, I think where it's going to be difficult is they're set up with 3 at the back, but it doesn't look like they have a dedicated number 6, the holding centre mid, and then you have Maniot and Maikot rotating and just changing when they drop in to receive the ball from the centre backs, which is very effective because it's hard to mark.
Arboleda with the interception, trying to find Endure, pass too heavy. Pintos will collect easily.
If you can't go to me, go to you.
Well, UCFC would feel that this is their game to lose, especially after their chief rivals for the title drew today in what was a incredible stand from Mendiola. Oh, what a flick on there, and Mike Ott. Now Marañón. Oh, that's straight at keeper.
Yeah, it was they have the run of the ball. Sometimes that happens when you're at the top of the league. Maniot's pass out took a nice little bobble, found itself straight to OJ. Wasn't a perfect pass from OJ, but fell straight to Marañón. And sometimes that happens when you're at the top of the league. But by Marañón's standard, I think it's safe to say he's up there with the best, if not the best centre forward in Southeast Asia. Probably should have scored.
Well, he'll try and manufacture an opportunity here, but he gives it to Schrock instead. Now Pika Minigeshi on the left side. Can't get past the second defender. Stallions trying to control it here deep within their territory. Ooh. And Doctora and Pika Minigeshi came down. Play on, says the referee. Oh, the lovely flick forward, and that is the opening goal. What a ball from Marañón. to find Ott.
Yeah, I think there a little bit of hesitation from the goalkeeper. And that can happen as well when you've got such a high caliber of player coming in towards you. Unlucky there from Stallions to have conceded so early, and now that is a huge wake-up call, and let's see if the way that Stallions approach the game changes at all.
Take a look at this one more time. That's what a lovely chip ball there, and Mike Ott just finding that gap in the middle. And there, that moment of hesitation there from the keeper, allow him to slide in that low finish on the left side. So Stallion now with a bit of pressure. If they wanted to hold UCFC, well, it just became so much harder.
And I think it would have been part of Stallion's game plan to try to control the tempo of what United City are doing, and at the moment, if they're going to be giving away passes going into the middle, that's going to be very difficult, because when they do have possession of the ball, they're very hard to get the ball back from, and that can be physically tiring and mentally tiring as that progresses throughout the game.
Well, we expected UCFC to apply a lot of pressure on Stallions, especially with the way they lined up. Such an attacking formation. UCFC content to probe here. All the way back to Pintus. And Stallions step up. So maybe some room at the back here for UCFC to run into. Porteria. Finding the goal scorer, Mike Ott. Can't get past the first defender, but a throw in deep within Stallion territory. You know, it's a high level of communication here between these two teams, actually. We can hear everything in this bubble format.
That's
and it's an education.
We tell all the younger players communication when there's 11 people trying to work together is vital. And you can also hear with United City that there's a lot of positive reinforcement coming with what players are saying, and everyone likes to hear that when they're playing. It gives them confidence to play, as Stefan Schrock just reverses the ball back to win a corner for United City.
UCFC, most of their players just lined up at the edge of the box. Stefan Schrock offering the short option. As Manny Ott to take the corner. Can't get past the first defender here. Chance for Stallions to attack. Well, Stefan Schrock, play him wherever on the field. He will defend, and you can play him as a striker instead of defending.
Yeah, Stefan Schrock has a fantastic work ethic, and wearing the captain's armband, that sets the standard and the tone for the players around him. And you don't really need to set that to players like Manny Ott and Mike Ott. They've always worked hard, so they have a real engine in the middle of the park, and Stallions can contain it. They just have to be patient, make sure that they have a good understanding of who they're marking, and try not to drift into the little traps of or the little overloads that United City are setting up as they rotate the ball round.
Stefan Schrock now in the middle, pulling the strings here. Shifts it to the left. Minigeshu with the run, trying to get it inside, unable to do so. Sendra takes it. Melisa reverses it. Schrock will be adjudged with a foul here. Chance for Stallions to pump it into the UCFC half.
And it's going to be from these set pieces that you really see what sort of tempo that Stallions are happy to play at. It seems at the moment that they're just going to allow things just to slow down a little bit.
As it stands here, United will win the title if they collect all 3 points. No chance really to control that one. OJ Porteria now trying to initiate the break. Pass just behind there for Mendy. There is a coach's survey, and I'll get to that later. Endor with a chance here. Can he get an equalizer? And he does so. It was never going to be a walk in the park for United. And Endor making it count, making this a game.
And that's exactly what Stallions do. That is exactly what we were talking about. They're just one of those sides that can cause an upset. Having played against Stallions myself in the past, it's the fixture which no one looks forward to playing because they have that never give up attitude. Some teams go 1-0 down and they throw the towel in, but not Stallions. It's a very direct pass. It's a 2v1, but a great first touch to keep the ball in momentum, and then just a relentless finish, nothing the goalkeeper could have done.
Noor had pace to burn. He found the space and really hit it to the point that Pintus had no chance.
And what Stallions do have is different for their recruitment process for this particular bubble, but they still have the older fashioned open tryouts, which is good because they can pick up players that way.
And you know, Coach Ornelas, he would say that you can try out, but you better be already fit when you try out. That just goes to show you the type of mentality that it takes to be a Stallions player.
Already fit and don't be late.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to be professional even before you try out for your first professional club. Attacking on the break here. So, again, we've been making a lot about how UCFC have lined up at the back with 3. Do you feel that Noor was able to take advantage of that in this case?
I mean, he's isolated up front. But being isolated against 2 defined centre-backs is very different to being isolated against a back 3. Especially if it's a breakdown in play. Because what you'll find is, like now you can see that the right centre-back and the left centre-back are very far apart. So technically there would be space to exploit as long as your character type as a player fits. And obviously, someone big, strong and fast can exploit those spaces.
Well, UCFC, they had the early lead, but conceded it not long after. Schrock now finding Pika Minigeshi. Gives it back to Schrock. Again, such a dynamic player, able to whip it in at any time, and Marañón was running to it, unable to get it. So when the goal came in for Stallions, I can report with confidence that there are Kaya fans out there who started cheering very loudly, and you know, really, the day when Kaya... Oh, here's another chance. Well, the day when Kaya fans thought they'd be cheering for Stallions, I don't think they ever thought that would happen.
It's good for Philippine football with a smaller, more compact league. Every game is being followed. I think this is a great setup for the neutral fan, and I think that as you kind of keep watching the games, you'll probably find a club which is to your favour. At the moment, I think half of the country wants to see United City win it now, but I think there will be a lot of neutral fans which will want to see it go down to the wire, because these games in this this short but exciting league has kept people on the edge of their seat.
UCFC still with a lot of possession here. Remember, we've only played for around 15 minutes here. Bika going inside and able to find Mike Ott. Schrock has it. He's been whipping in the balls from the left side predominantly, trying to find Mendy, unable to do so. All of a sudden, UCFC providing all the pressure. Schrock. Back to Pika. That will be a corner.
And there you're seeing the patience of United City, who are comfortable in that high rotation. Even though there's lots of players in there, they still keep their composure. And it's a quick short corner.
Another opportunity here for United. first time for us calling a United game, Darren, but then it's still, at least with the core here, being from Ceres, we know what to expect from them. Shock with the ball in. Fouls as a referee inside the box. Ceres were undefeated last season, and the core has come back to play for United. It'll be interesting to see whether or not they can go through the season undefeated as well, again with a very short preparation time leading into the bubble.
Yeah, that would be the question of the Ceres fans. How many of the Ceres fans will be converted straight away to follow this side? From my experience in Philippine football, people kind of like styles of play, but they also like individual players. And you're most certainly right. This is the same core. They're playing the same sort of exciting, free-flowing football that we are used to seeing.
This could be another breakaway here for Stallions. Arboleda now on the left side. Trying to play a little 1-2 with Qsuite. And Kane there to clean it up. Pintus, the goalkeeper of United, he's a confident guy. Have you ever heard the term slide into your DMs? Because I interviewed him, and after an interview, he slid into my DMs and said that, you know what, the next time I talk to you, I'll be holding a trophy. Confident young man. I bet you didn't think I'd use that slide into your DM term in that context.
That kind of threw me off what I was doing there, but I kind of liked as well that there was a bit of friendly banter between Stefan Strock and Anthony Paitis before the season started, and then of course there was a switch. I believe it was a loan deal which saw them on the same team.
Oh, and you know, they're roommates now.
There we go.
Marañón finding Schrock. Schrock driving forward. And that is a handball. Now, when Schrock gets the ball, there's so much respect that they realize, and I'm sure everyone in the league knows this, that they have to put bodies in front of him to try and stop him from creating.
Yeah, I think what Stefan Strock does is when he gets on the ball, he's always looking to be positive. And whether it's a mazy run, like we just saw there, or whether it's distributing the ball early, he has a surprisingly long range of vision and pass, and that is why you have to close him down quickly.
Stefan Schrock standing over this one. See whether or not he will test Pepita directly. And look at all the targets in there as well. Lifts that forward. Danger not away yet. Ott with the ball in and forces a corner. Well, we've seen a upset draw already this morning. We called that, Darren, at 9 a.m. and almost 12 hours later, we're back here and we're already set up for an interesting contest between Stallions and United.
Yeah, it's incredible to think that we're still inside the first 20 minutes and there's been a goal either side. At 1-0, it did look like United City were going to cruise. But Stallions did exactly the right thing, which was to come back with a quick goal and reset the scoreline. So now it's still anyone's game. We all know what's at stake. If United City win, they're picking up a trophy. And Stallions would love to be the side to stop them from doing that tonight.
High pressure there for Stallions, unable to win it cleanly though. Ibrahim Anur there on your screen. I saw the picture that we used for the formation and the league takes it, very professionally done, but then I found it funny that he was wearing a cap during the photo, and I think that's just part of his swag, talking about Nur. Take a look at the possession count here. Still 1-1 though, 77%, easy to line share possession for United.
It's one of those things, it's possession. And we kind of look at possession in two ways. Number one, you can look at percentages, but then you can also look at the percentage passes which are positive and beating players. So, for example, a pass which beats 3 players is better than a sideways and backwards pass. And I think what Stallions are slowly managing to do now is keep United City playing sideways and backwards. Even if they do build up the majority of possession, I think we all expected that. It's whether or not they can keep them from playing those really key through passes, which were so dangerous in the first 10 minutes.
Stallion with an upset in mind. United trying to get things back to normal, at least for them. They know that they have the quality to run away with this game. But against Stallion, again, the team that no one wants to play here in the Philippines just because of their intensity when it comes to every single game. Trying to push forward, trying to find Noor one more time, but this time around, Odawara there to clean it up. Ott, now to Porteria, finding Marañón. Trying to find Mike Ott. Trying to be provider here. Mendy miss it. Pika Minigeshi. Now Schrock. Minigeshi trying to dribble inside the box but loses it. Play on, says the referee. Stallions on the break. 4 United shirts against 4 Stallion shirts. No foul, says the referee. That was a clean tackle.
Yeah, that was a textbook slide tackle there, and the recovery of United City was just as quick as the counter-attack of Stallions, and now United City might be able to build their own attack here. Lovely switch play to the right-hand side.
Porteria could be dangerous from here. 2 targets inside. Marañón gives it back to Porteria. Such quick feet there. Now to Kane. And they go all the way back. Stallions will be happy that they contained that threat. Schrock. Minigeshi. Good defending again from Stallion. I say try to go on the break here, but snuffed away by Maniot.
And that's the second or third time that Stallions have had a real opportunity to play the ball into the middle of the park, but just not being able to find that cohesion between their centre mids. And just look how high the defenders are of United City.
Asking for a handball there. There was a shout from the United players. Referee not interested though, but a dangerous nod away. That will be a corner. Let's see whether or not we can take a better look at that.
Stefan Schrock with his head up, just lifting it into the box.
I'm not so sure on that angle.
It's difficult because of the change in rules as well. The handball rule now is ever more complicated.
And here's a penalty shout.
I think that would have been very, very soft to give that. I mean, if anyone stood, oh, it's a great goal. It's a great goal. It's a great delivery. And it's a great header. I was just about to say, if anyone was to stand alongside Mendy or the goal scorer there, Odawara, you would see how big those guys are. They're big, strong frame players. And instead of going to ground, that's exactly what they can do. They can get up and they can cause huge problems for teams who lose even the slightest of concentration at the back.
Well, United had 2 shouts for a penalty. In the end, they didn't need it. Schrock into Minigeshi. Minigeshi with the cross to the far post and fantastic header. Just lofting that over the keeper. Such a soft touch, but so dangerous.
Only thing I could say there is it's a huge mismatch on the far post. It's a massive mismatch. That's perhaps something which Stallions will need to look at, is making sure that you go size for size, danger for danger, and allowing the United City centre-back to get onto the far post, either unmarked or someone without the physical presence to cause pressure. I guess in basketball terms, that's like giving a 3-point shooter space to shoot, yeah? They're more likely to make the basket. There we go, that's my basketball knowledge.
Something like
You're
that.
impressed,
Yeah.
aren't you?
No, yes, I am impressed. But then if I were going to make it even more scientific, I'd say that leaving a 3-point shooter in the corner for a higher percentage shot.
There we go.
There you go.
And that's exactly what happened there. A centre-back whose expertise is using his head.
You see, I like how we relate the top sport in the Philippines to the growing sport here. Chance here on the break. Referee did not raise his flag. Mendy now. Try and find Marañón. This time the flag goes up.
The flag went up, and very, very good goalkeeping that time. Sharp and alert, and that's exactly what Stallions is going to need from their man in yellow in goal.
A lot of pressure again on Stallions. As United will attack, and Noor could not keep possession for the black shirts. Pintus. Ooh, that was intense pressure there by Stallions. Pintus got it away early enough. Arboleda on the left side trying to chase, keeps that in. Only 2 targets in the box. Qsuite. Trying to find Noor. Unable to get on target there is Ricky Sendra. But that was, again, the opportunities are coming from Stallions. Not with as much regularity as United. But a chance is all they need, really, to tie this all up again.
Yeah, I think the important thing is that there's quality in the end product at the moment for Stallions. So they can afford to be, I wouldn't say patient, because they're not necessarily being patient, they're kind of being forced back, but they can afford to take the pressure from United City.
Well, yellow card here for Stallions. I understand that Stallions are losing here, but then this may be their best performance in the bubble so far.
Yeah, I don't think
United.
they're going to be unhappy with that. They've been creative. They've been limited to the amount of time that they have on the ball, apart from a couple of passes which have gone astray into the middle of the park. That's something which can easily be resolved. But of course, we have to remember they're playing themselves into a little bit of congestion because they are sitting deep and allowing United City to rotate the ball. So let's just see how it plays out. They will not be disappointed to only be 2-1 down.
Remember, the last game of United, they ran away as winners after scoring 10 goals against Maharlika. Totally different prospect here against Stallions. Shock finding Pika. Now on the attack, Marañón on the left channel. Mendy inside as well as Porteria. Bit of a gap here. And they find Arboleda on the left side. High pressure again from United. But then maintaining their defensive shape. Trying to find a run of Noor, but he wasn't ready for that one.
But Stallions showing that they can get the ball down and just, at least try to control the tempo of the game for a while. There's been a lot of other teams that would have panicked in that situation and played long very, very quickly.
This is arguably the stiffest challenge United have faced so far in the PFL.
Yeah, this is their 4th game, and they've ran away with 2 of those 4 games.
Scored 16 goals in those 2 games that you're mentioning. Now, Porteria, who's literally right in front of us, was saying that he's so open on the right side. Let's see whether or not his teammates listen to him, though.
Yeah, he was so close to us that early in the game he was off the pitch and he was almost sat next to you.
Almost.
Of course,
I told him to stay away. Social distancing. That's the
right.
thing. Again, the game is under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusement Board, and that is one of the rules. Stallion not afraid to build from the back and then shift it forward quickly. And Odd runs into the referee. The referee, in fairness to him, knew nothing about it. Oh, that's a bizarre run of play there.
I was just playing through my head what if Stallions had scored then. They did have the numbers with them as well. The referee back in the day was actually a good football player.
Oh, was he?
Very, very good football player. You saw how he took that challenge there.
Oh yeah, he just bounced off him.
Yeah.
I mean, if ever people are questioning his fitness levels, I think we now know that he's at least strong enough. I'm happy he didn't dive.
Setting a good example.
So if someone dives and say, hey, you see what happened a while ago? If I'm able to stand, you're able to stand. Set piece here for Stallions.
Yeah, and it's good sometimes when we have former players who are stepping into refereeing to further their careers in the sport. It helps with those instinctive decisions as well.
Sandra had a chance a while ago with a header. Let's see if he can get on the end of this one. Stallions have proven to be dangerous. Can they be dangerous here again? Pintos able to collect, though, easily.
And Pintos has been sharp on his distribution very quickly to get the fullbacks on the ball.
Trying to find Porteria on the right side. Well, he told us here, that he is wide open on that side, so they were looking for him then. Not quite sure whose run he was looking for, but Pintos collects anyway.
Yeah, and Fitch Arboleda, he's looking lively out here on Stallion's left-hand side. It's just a little bit more finesse in his final pass. But we have to remember that a lot of these players were away from the pitch for 6 to 7 months, so the fact that the standard of the game is so high is a real credit to the players' discipline off the pitch, and of course to the programs that the coaching staff have put in place to get them match ready.
OJ tried to take advantage of that run, but good defending again, and Mike Ott will be adjudged with the foul. Arboleda was close to turning him, and Ott had to take him down. Schrock wins the ball in an interesting position here, but then the ball will go the other way. Linesman made a decision. Noor wins it. Chance to attack here. Referee will call that back for a free kick. Stallions have been providing the biggest test so far in the league against this United back line.
And they've been doing that with a combination of work ethic and just really finding quality and trying to exploit the tactical changes that United City have made in this game.
Alquiros with the delivery. Low to Pintos, he collects. Schrock loses it, but Doctora couldn't take advantage. Schrock playing it forward here. Mendy tried to nod that forward to Bienve. Again, another free kick here for Stallions now. It feels like they are artillery gunners finding their range in the box. And you have to feel that if they accrue more set pieces, they'll get closer to a perfect delivery here.
Well, for a competitive side, hanging the ball up in the air in the box from set pieces can be effective. They do have physical presence, they have a lot of determination, and you're right, the more chances they get to do this, the more likely they are to score.
Doctora tried to slide that in forward. too many white shirts there for there to be any real danger. Schrock wins it back, and Alcaraz battling for it. Schrock wins the free kick. Referee just having a quick word.
And you can see, and being here in a bubble, as you said, without that intensity of the fans around us, you can hear how physical some of the challenges are. Very fair, very competitive. I mean, every now and then there might be something a little bit personal in it, but that's football at this level. But really, it's a well-contested game, and the tempo is as expected. It's a really nice time of the day to be playing football. The occasion here and the surface is good, and the players can really push themselves and push one another.
Playing it forward to Noor, using his body, trying to get it against Kane. Kane heaves that back. Ricky Sendra there to collect pressure from Marañón. Now moving to the right side. Can Stallion save it here? Oh, extended pressure here from Stallions against United.
Yeah, and Sendra's doing okay in the middle, controlling the game as much as he can, and you have to remember that he's having to put a huge shift in off the ball when Stallions don't have possession.
Villarreal under pressure. Mendy wins it, but all alone. Now to Schrock. Nobody in the box. Too late, runs in. Well, by Schrock's high standards, that didn't really meet it.
Going back to what Mendy just did, that's exactly why you sign a player like Mendy. Works so hard off the ball and created a chance out of nothing, but the danger's not over yet.
This United team can score at any moment. And coaches' surveys say that Mendy is the favorite to win the Golden Boot. But now a chance again from Stallion on the other side. On the attack, Arboleda trying to get to it. The cross was way too long. Kane with the tackle, but the referee says it was a clean one, so that'll be a throw deep within United territory. Sendra trying to find the run inside, unable to do so. Doctora getting the better of Schrock then. White shirts all around him though.
Yes, Doctora, the captain, has stepped up his game in the last 10 minutes, managing to get on the ball and settle things down slightly higher up the pitch for Stallions. And they are able to cause a little bit of unsettled between the centre-backs here, and Kane here just stamping his authority on Fitch Arboleda, who is also one of those players who's building himself into the game at the moment.
Hey, that's what you call a big boy tackle there. Getting the ball and then getting the man fairly. United slowing things down a bit here after what was intense pressure, extended pressure from Stallions. And you might even say that Stallions in the past 15 or so minutes look to be the more dangerous side.
It seems that way. United City perhaps showing that, you know, the style of football they're playing is at a physical level, which perhaps they're not quite yet there. Other teams by now would have already conceded several goals. But Stallions are hanging in there, and we could have a real game in our hands. But if United City are to score before half-time, it would not be a good feeling for Stallions to sit there and hear the advice of their coach, Ernie Nieras.
Porteria keeping the ball here. Gives it back to Kane. Stallion push United back one more time. Shifting the play to Minigishi. Giving back to Schrock. Quick feet from Schrock. Schrock lifting that in. Mendy with a chance there. Oh, and what a save from Pepito. United have a shout for a handball again. Referee again still not interested. And wasteful cross means a goal kick.
I think what people who are watching need to understand is all the calls for the handball are gone as soon as that happens. If the referee allows the shot to happen, he can't then award the penalty after because he's already played the advantage.
Well, 5 shots to 2. And if you're a Stallions fan, you'd be happy with that. Also, for those Kaya fans who are losing hope that they won't have a shot at winning a title, they'll be happy with what Stallions is performing so far, and a free kick in a potentially dangerous area in favor of United. Again, we can hear everything. And for those who don't understand Filipino, Dr. was saying...
Do you want me to?
I'll let
he's
you
the one
translate
who's
it.
always extending his leg.
Yes, something like that. But not the
we
word
go.
always. He's the one extending his leg. Very close. Very close. I got
Sorry, it wasn't word for word, but it was pretty close. I see a few smiles here.
You know, because we love the effort, by the way. Schrock standing over this one. He has been a marksman in terms of delivering the ball. Trying to find Odawara again that time. Mendy. Unable to get anything down.
These are crucial minutes now for Stallions. Conceding a goal now will make things very, very difficult in terms of the momentum of the game. But if they can just continue the way they were playing over the last 5-10 minutes, they will have that little bit of that feel-good factor when they sit down for their 15-minute break at half-time.
So we are talking about how Stallions, during the pregame, actually have weapons to score goals on their bench. So let's see whether or not they will play a factor if the game stays this close. Marañón plays it all the way back to Kane. Melisa offering pressure to Odawara. He shifts that, and Stallion, well, they were hoping for a throw in there. Ott. Back to Pintus. Trying to find Mendy, and well, Mendy literally had someone climbing all over him.
Yeah, and I could hear the remarks coming from the Stallions bench, and I noticed that when the goalkeeper did play long, the defence was quite slow getting up, which keeps the game very stretched, and of course is keeping 2 of the top strikers in Southeast Asia near your goal, and that's not what you want to be doing right now. You've got to stick together as a team. Mendy!
OJ and Mendy had good chances there. Last ditch defending there from Stallions. Take a look at this again. Poor clearance, really. And Mendy with an acrobatic attempt, and OJ unable to convert. Again, we can hear everything. If you hear us, just listen. If you notice, if we're a bit quiet, we're trying to listen into what they're saying as well, and trying to tell everyone at home just what United are thinking. They've been very vocal, especially in the midfield.
I can't wait to see how open this game potentially could get in the second half. It's already starting to show signs of it late in this first half.
And if you're United, you feel that may play into your favor, especially with Mendy and Marañón as your goal-scoring threats. As well as OJ Porteria. Never forget about him.
Yeah, I'm just looking, though, at the space between the defenders of United City. There is space there for Stallions if they do regroup at half-time to try to work out how they can exploit those spaces. We only have a minute of extra time. It's been quite a smooth first half of football.
Oh, and as you say that, a tackle there that the referee has to take a look at. Let's see whether or not Stallions could come up with a late chance here to worry United. Again, they've had a series of free kicks, this one a bit further than the rest. But again, playing it directly. Porteria able to save that. Mendy can get it on the end of this one. He eventually does. 2 defenders draped all over him. Qsuite. Well, this could be the chance for United to tack onto their lead once more.
Yeah, I think a little bit more experience in defending there. Don't really need to give away a free kick. That's the worst thing you can do now. There, the player is contained. He's got his head down. He's running away from your goal, and that's the objective of the defender, is to try to turn the player around and keep them away from your goal in danger. So it was job done. You can't always win the tackle. But now you put yourself in a situation with Stefan Strock, who can just whip it in.
And Marañón just nods that over. For everyone expecting that United would run away with this one, would run away with the trophy, Stallions out here showing us what they are all about. 2-1 in favor of United, but Stallions definitely still in this game. Mike Ott and Odawara getting the goals for United. Noor in the 12th minute for Stallions with the equalizer. And you have to feel that there are more goals in this one, so don't go away. Take a look at the halftime score, 2-1, still in favor of United City FC. Mike Odawara scoring for United. And Stallion, though, in it with a fight, nor with a goal in the 12th minute. And as we wait for the game, we're going to have a halftime challenge for you. We're giving out money, typically. And I got confirmation, yes, we are still giving out money, and I haven't handed out money every time I've called this one so far, but you never know, you could be the lucky one. Ladies and gentlemen, for our halftime show, our lucky fan watching from our live stream in the Philippines Football League Facebook page will get a chance to win 2,000 pesos if the player of his or her choice will complete this challenge. Now, we have nominated one player from each club: Ken James from Stallion Laguna and Lorenzo Badelich Jr. from UCFC. Here are the mechanics of our halftime challenges. So 2 players will be situated on the goal kick position, and they will have 2 attempts to score a goal. Alright, so I'm not quite sure how I can visualize that, but we'll get that in just a bit. So, representing Maricar Olegario here is Ken James for Stallion, and now representing fan Daria San Jose here is Florencio Badelich Jr. for United. So let's see if we can get that. So there are the ones whose literally money is riding on their performances. Talking about for the fans here in the halftime show. And again, when I called this one last time around, they accidentally hit their own teammates and didn't even get close to the target. So let's see if change in luck is in the cards here in a halftime break. We're gonna get that set up for you in a while. Again, we hope you're enjoying the game here, being called from the PFF National Training Center in Carmona, Cavite. Again, these are extraordinary times. The COVID-19 pandemic has ravaged us worldwide, and in the Philippines, we are here adapting to it with this bubble format, trying our best to make sure that we provide a safe venue for the players to come out and perform at a high level. And after 7 months of inaction, we're incredibly happy to have football back. And this game is under supervision and regulation. The game's an amusement board. You can subscribe to our YouTube page and the Philippines Football League Facebook page and YouTube page for more content on what's happening inside the bubble. There are a few great shows there as well. I've yet to host one because our boss says that he couldn't afford our talent fees, talking about myself and Darren's. And so now we have but we still have great media personalities hosting inside the bubble in the PFL. You should catch that on the Facebook pages. Don't forget, someone in the first game day has won 5,000 pesos because it was a crossbar challenge, and I don't think people realize how many people actually practice crossbar challenges in their spare time. And you know, that was a fun win for the fans who tuned in that day. And last match day, someone won 2,000 pesos each. And again, games that I did not call personally. I believe that maybe, you know, there may be a bit of an unlucky streak on my part. But hopefully the fans get something today. Of course, I'm getting all this information from our friend Anton Del Rosario, who is tuned in right now. Just actually had a game this afternoon, just a couple of hours ago. Glad to see that he's recovering. So Badelik will have the chance here to win some money. Again, he will be representing Darias San Jose. The challenge is that two players will be situated on the goal kick position and they'll have attempts to score a goal. Let's see what they can do, trying to get it all the way across to the other side. And that is well short. I apologize for all the fans out there because that was not even close to the target. So it will be from one goal to the other. So that's the visualization of it. Ken James now representing Maricar Olegario. And the line is good, but will it go all the way? I checked that. No, the line is no good at all. So thank you very much for tuning into the halftime show. Oh no, wait, there is one more chance here. Badelik will go first. Oh no, Ken James rather. Or I think they're talking about it. They realized probably that their last attempts were poor. Badelik unable to... Oh, or is it rolling all the way in? Oh no! Oh no! Don't touch it! Oh no, here's a chance! Will it cross the line? And it is short! Oh my goodness! Oh, that was 2,000 pesos on the line. They're literally inches away.
I think if the bubble rules were different, Nate Berkey would definitely be out there doing this.
Oh, absolutely.
100% sure. He would have his boots in the car and he would be out there doing it.
All right, Badelik with the last chance here to win some money. Again, representing Darias San Jose. Trying to get it in the goal here. Easier said than done. No wind to help him out. And that is played high. Let's see if there will be a lucky bounce. Nope, that is way off. And apologies to Maricar Olegario and Darias San Jose. Unable, your players let you down in this halftime challenge. But better luck next time. Please continue to support the Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. We'll be back. Stallion so far.
How would you describe your perfect journey? Does it begin with the Airbus A350, with its distinctive cockpit windows and sleek wingtips? Is it in the comfort and privacy of your own personal Qsuite?
Is your perfect journey one where you saw the blue skies in a greener way? The A350 uses less fuel than the A380, reducing CO2 emissions, making it a more environmentally friendly option.
Is your perfect journey a breath of fresh air? One where the air is filtered and replaced every 2 minutes, ensuring you can breathe easy? Does it have perfectly curated lighting, helping to reduce jet lag from a long flight?
Is your perfect journey a connected one? Experience complimentary Wi-Fi throughout your entire flight.
So, why fly on yesterday's plane when you can have the perfect journey on tomorrow's? The Qatar Airways A350. Newer, greener, better.
Welcome back to the 2020 Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. United City FC with a title on the line with a 1-goal lead against Stallion Laguna FC. Stallions could crash the party here. Take a look at the stats. 72% possession for United. No big surprise there. Also, more shots and more shots on target for United. But Stallions, that one shot on target resulted in a goal. They've been attacking on the break. It's still in the balance here, Darren.
Yeah, United City, as you can see with the stats, have dominated in terms of possession. However, what that doesn't show is the contribution that Stallions have made to the game. They will not be disappointed with being 2-1 down. They will still be focused on trying to get themselves back in the game as soon as possible.
Stallions now playing from left to right of your screen in black with the pink trim, and United going the other way, playing in all white with the gold trim. Referees and officials just making sure everything's ready here, and we're off once more for the second half. We expected maybe this will be a bit more of an open game, especially after what we saw at the end of that first half. Stallions definitely buoyed by their performance in the first 45 minutes. They know that there are goals to be had, especially if they are more clinical. But for United, a bit of an underachievement for them. because they know that they can score a lot more goals. They've had their chances, unable to convert though. Noor all alone, and Strock is there to collect it. Strock playing it forward to Mendy. Minigishi now. Pressure still on the Stallions' back line. Sendra loses out in the middle. Mike Ott back to Mendy. Now Minigishi. 2 white shirts in the box. Good tackle.
We also need to mention the depth of squad that United City have. Any change that they make is not going to take away from the way that they play and the style of football that they play. So it's going to be a very interesting second half, not just in terms of the players' performances, but also in terms of the way that the coaches make their tactical adjustments.
Well, at least based on the first few minutes here in the second half, United still in the same shape. Strock ball into Mendy. Unable to get that one to fall. Back to Odawara, who really has been the pivot for this United team. Playing alone in the center back position, but doing very well to distribute from the middle.
Yeah, he has a big responsibility at the back, but he's been doing very well. Obviously has the support of 2 quality players either side of him. As you see, United City now with the ball on the left-hand side. Patient as ever.
Ott. Shifting it to the right side to Porteria. He was left alone so much in that first half, but unable to get any real service. Ball still in play here. Stallions chance to break. Clearance only to Ott. Minigishi with the shot straight at Pepito. Stallions taking their time here. Again, they are definitely in this game. You cannot write this off as just a United victory. Even though on paper, based on their 10-0 demolition of Maharlika last time around, it's easy to say that they should get a glut of goals against a Stallions team who has just recently come together, recently gotten complete here in the PFL bubble. Stefan Strock so hard to mark and gets the pass through to Minigishi. High pressure here for United. Try and find Mendy and Marañon! Flashed right in front of goal, off target. Again, dangerous here for United to start out the second half.
I think the question is how did he not score? Strock with teasing as ever, and that's a fantastic ball into the box by Pika. But just sometimes when you're in front of goal there, things happen really quick, as you said, in the flash of a moment. And that really would have been very similar to how the first half was, with Stallions conceding very early. This time, Stallions able to ride their luck a little bit and keep themselves in the game. And that's a mistake at the back.
Well, Odawara there to clean up that mistake. Well, United asking for a whistle, not getting it. Stallions with all the time in the world to try and reset here. Long ball forward to Noor. Ott. Kane. Playing it forward here. We saw a very patient United team, at least how they opened the first half. This time around, a bit more intent, a bit more verve in their attacking play.
Yeah, we've seen how patience has affected teams in the later half of the second half. So United City will go out and they will want to try to put this game beyond Stallions as soon as they can.
Minigishi trying to find OJ Porteria, nothing there. Just off the mark. United finding chances, creating them from that left flank. Can Stallions withstand the pressure? Trying to find Minigishi again, but the pass was wayward. Schrock pressuring immediately. Sendra doing well to get out of the way.
Yeah, Sendra's very confident in demanding the ball, even if he's under pressure. He's got a good physique to him. And Stefan Schrock is just trying to stop him from turning and facing.
Well, we are wondering who would be the defenders at the wing for United, and it looks like OJ and Pika Minigishi do come back and operate as wingbacks. Bienve Marañón. He has OJ Porteria to his right, Mendy right in front of him. He goes back to his left to Stefan Schrock. Now to Kane. Patient this time from United. Ott to Ott. Gusame moving forward to Mendy. Oh, and Mendy, such a tough body to beat. And that is straight to the side netting.
Interesting there that Mendy's not opted just to roll it to someone with a higher percentage shot on goal. I mean, he did do all the hard work. He's been very strong there, just riding through the tackle. And United City, for the first time, not able to get their attacking centre mids there onto the edge of the box. Not always a sign of fatigue. Sometimes when a striker wins the ball unexpectedly, then they're so far away from the play that the strikers have to do it on their own.
Incredible level of improvement we saw from Stallions after the break in their last game as they nicked a 1-1 draw with a very late goal. And who knows, maybe they could improve here in the second half as well against United. Still a lot of football to be played.
There's a lot of football and there's still a lot of players on the bench. Up to 10 changes between the two teams. So things could change very quickly depending on how the coaches are reading this particular game. Ooh.
Referee points to the corner.
There have been a lot of appeals for penalties and free kicks.
Interesting to see the replay of that. And maybe the referee felt that Ott went to ground too easily there.
I think partly that's what it is, and also moving away from the goal. It's a quick short corner combination.
Ott hits the post, chance still. And another goal for United off the quick rebound. Such a quick play, and Mike Ott again the goal scorer. Well, that came in a flash. Talking about United, Stallions doing so well for the 45 minutes prior, unable to contain them on this occasion. And almost a similar situation to their second goal. They had a few penalty shouts inside. Instead, they went to work from a corner and got it done. Take a look at this quick play again. Manny Ott hit the post. Then Mike Ott with the follow-up.
Yeah, and they had their numbers in the box there, and perhaps the only thing that Stallions could have done better is as soon as the ball ricochets off the post, you should be looking to push players forwards. Just try to play with that offside line, make it difficult for the United City players to operate. But it was United City who reacted first.
Sub coming in here, Bedia will check in for Arboleda. So Arboleda was operating on the left side. Let's see where Bedia will come in for Stallion. Another look at that, and not just being at the right place at the right time, but really being the first man to react.
Yeah, and that's what it was about. United City have gone out with an intent in this second half, and it just shows what happens when you've set your targets on something that you want to achieve, and they've gone out and given themselves that 2-goal cushion for the first time in this match. So now again we switch over to Stallions to see what's their reaction. Their reaction is to make a very quick substitution.
So let's see whether or not that will change the way that they play. But a chance here from United again to pile on the misery for Stallion. Schrock, ball inside, trying to look for Mendy. Not that time. Oje Porteria keeps it alive. Had to get that back in. Balok Doctora gives it to Marañón, and he hits the bar.
Great snapshot there by Marañón, just on the half turn. Doesn't sell his shot at all. It's very difficult to read. And that time Stallion saved by the graces of the woodwork, or metalwork in this case.
I'm actually not quite sure. Now I want to check. But we can't get close because of the social distancing protocols implemented here in the PFL bubble. And on that note, we just made the Games and Amusement Board very proud of the way that we are keeping this bubble intact. Sendra, fancy feet inside. Still a chance here for Stallions to make a game out of this. A goal here, and they could apply pressure on United. But again, easier said than done because United have come out of the half with intent. They want to keep on attacking. They want to pile on the goals. Again, a victory here for United will win them the title. Marañón saying that he was clocked there a bit. Noor pushing that forward. Alquiros trying to get on the end of this one. Pressure here for Stallions, but a chance to break now for United. Schrock unable to really control that. Minigishi shifts it to the other side. It feels like OJ has actually come back deeper to retrieve the ball more. Again, he was left on an island in that first half. Minigishi now finding space on the left. They've been favoring that left side. Oh, the dummy, and Marañón! That's what you expect from one of the deadliest strikers in Asia. Fantastic finish for Marañón as they are putting Stallion away.
And that is exactly what Stallions did not want to happen at the start of this second half. Conceding in quick succession, it now gives them the huge task of trying to play themselves back into this game now that United City have built themselves into their momentum and the flow, which, to be fair, Stallions had kept them at bay for a very, very long time, but it's just relentless. They do it over and over and over again and don't give the teams that they play against any chance to take a breather. Sometimes even half-time isn't long enough to catch your breath. And you could probably just see how much that 3-goal cushion means to this United City side. For sure now, putting themselves in a favourite position to lift this trophy at the end of this season.
Well, United already feel probably with this type of score that they already have one hand on the trophy. Mendy going for the run. And he ends up with it anyway. Again, such a strong body or such a physical presence up top for United. Stallions trying to go on the break. Not afraid to attack. Doesn't make great defense there. Ashrock now operating on the left. Minigishi, who went back to cover on defense, is now on the attack once more. He offered that run. Ott back to the middle. Shifting it to the right. United flowing here in the second half. What has changed here for Stallions? They were so solid. Or is it just really the class of United coming to bear?
I think United City were just clinical when they come out this half in the first. Oh, this is a chance, though, to get back in the game.
Can Stallions get a goal here? Pintos! What a save! Noor was asking for the ball. And instead, Pintos called directly into action. Mendy with the foul there, with a push. But boy, that was an opportunity for Stallions to make a game of this once more.
Yeah, and I think that is Melissa there who took the shot early when perhaps with a little bit more composure could have just rolled the ball inside. It's so easy to say, but it happens so quickly. He has worked for the opportunity, found himself in half a yard of space, and his teammate was actually offside, so a good decision to take a shot.
Well, Stallions, again, we mentioned not afraid to go on the attack, and there'll be a slew of changes here for Stallions lining up. They're not done here. But of course, scoreline suggests otherwise. And interesting, because I believe the Stallions will be changing keepers here. Badelic will check in for Pepito. Or so rather, Gasic will check in for Pepito, rather. And Angeles as well will come in for Balot Doctora. So, change of very important, very key figures in this Stallions setup. Alan Angeles coming in. So Alan Angeles will play in the wing. And you have Alquiros in a more central position now. Regala low ball to the other side. Qsuite trying to find that run on the left flank. That is too strong, too heavy a pass. To Stallion's credit, still going at it here against United.
Yeah, there have been tactical changes from Stallions, and let's see. I mean, I've seen teams score 3 goals in quick succession, especially when they start to build momentum going into the end of the game. But what we have to remember is that United City are still unchanged, and they could counter any substitutions, I think, that were made by Stallions at the moment. It's just the fact that Stallions are the first team to make the change, so they would just have longer to adjust to the tempo of the game.
Stallions having a difficult time getting the ball back in here. So many white shirts here on the trying to receive that one. Eventually does. Stallions trying to get it away from Mendy here. And that will be a foul against Stallions. So a chance here for United to deliver another dangerous ball inside.
Perhaps the referee seeing that as an obstruction.
Ricky Sendra pleading the case for Stallions. Ott playing it back to the back line. Kane now. Stallions definitely trying to pressure this back line and calmly getting away.
And that's a great example of playing through the press there, managing to draw 3 or 4 Stallions players and then just play the ball through.
Shifting sides now, talking about United. Dutosme. Couldn't find Minigishi. Regala gave that away to Schrock. He saw the opening and took advantage. Schrock. Tackle from Indur. Noor finds Marañon, who finds Mendy. Mendy goes for it, but blocked by Stallions once more. So Stallions still looking for a way back into this one. And again, we've seen stranger things in football. But if you're Stallions right now, what do you feel is that pathway back to making this a more competitive game?
Well, number one, you've got to stop conceding goals. That needs to be their first focus, is to make sure that the defence is nice and tight. Try to get a little bit more energy in the middle of the park and stop United City from dictating what they want to do. and then from there you can build back into the game. Remember, United City scored 2 goals very, very quickly, so it just goes to show that it can be done by either side. But of course, don't lose belief. You've got to believe that you can do it as well.
Well, the burden of proof definitely for Stallions here. Minigishi. Inside, Marañón. Oh, and that's another one. So clinical, so deadly. He just needed a moment of space, and Minigishi found the right man. So many eyes were on Mendy, and when Marañón collected, it was an easy finish for him. And that could be that. That could mean the title for sure for United.
What a strong position to be in now. That is a commanding lead. It's no longer a close game. Clinical finishing. That's been the difference between the first half and second half. Minigishi there just cutting the ball back, and so much space. And that's what you have to be careful when you play United City is the drifting centre forwards. They've done it before in the past. Marañón had a partner up front before. It's been a long time coming to find someone like Mendy to play alongside him, and you have to really watch when Marañón drifts off those 5 or 6 yards. Someone has got to go with him, or at least communicate for a holding centre mid to get closer to him.
Pintus collects safely. And you know what? Maybe he was right. Maybe when he slid into the DMs of certain journalists that he will end up with a trophy in his hands next time he has an interview talking about Pintus. Because if I'm not mistaken, I'm not the only one who received a message like that.
He's a confident young man with a fantastic squad of players out in front of him. So, I mean, every reason to be confident. There was still a lot of work to do. And I think now the ADT result against United City just goes to show how well ADT did, because every other team now have succumbed to the relentless pressure, and it's not physical pressure. They do play at a good tempo, they do press well, but it's really the movement of the ball. It's a very efficient pressure that United City have created in their playing philosophy and style, and long may it continue, because it's definitely lifting the standard of our local football and inspiring a lot of young players to play this sort of style of football, which is great to see as a neutral. It's never nice to be on the receiving end of 4, 5, 6 goals, but sometimes you've just got to say that, you know, that is a good team, that is a championship team that's playing right now.
And shout out to all the fans of United, because this definitely is the cream of the crop of Philippine football. Noor here trying to make something out of nothing. United have been, and as they were before, Ceres have been the gold standards of Philippine football, Philippine club football. Definitely raising the level of every team here in the league. Everyone trying to catch up with them. Everyone trying to be a worthy challenger for the club at the top. And I think it's easy to say, easy to believe that Ceres in the past and United City now have definitely elevated what is required of Kaya, what is required of Stallions, and we've seen the improvements throughout the years.
Yeah, I think you always need a benchmark in your football, and for a long time it was our national team, the Ascals, that did that. And I think that helped inspire clubs to start raising their standard, and now for the last few years, the last few seasons, United City, former Ceres, have done that, and we're seeing again just exactly why. Not only are they looking as if they're going to win this round of the PFL, but why they're also seen as one of the best sides in Southeast Asia.
United have been dominant here in the league so far, but based on what we've seen here, do you feel that there are any areas that they should strengthen, especially as they look towards challenging in the highest level of Asian football in the Champions League?
Well, I think they did lose a few defensive players at the start of the pandemic, which was always going to happen. There was uncertainty, but I think all uncertainties now have been put well to bed. This is a fantastic bubble that PFF have created, obviously working with the governing bodies, but defenders really. if they're going to compete against the top teams in Southeast Asia, they're going to have a little bit more depth. The same depth that they have in the midfield, in the defence.
Chance again. And Porteria adds another. Again, so many white shirts in the box. So cool, so composed, looking for the best shot. And finally, slithering the ball away to the open man. And Porteria, who was asking for the ball so much in the first half, finally gets his reward for being in the right position, for being in the right place.
And United City enjoying themselves now, finding themselves with a little bit of freedom and good composure, just rolls it past the goalkeeper.
Fans would say that United are not Ceres. This is a totally new team. But just like Ceres, they are on their way to becoming a team of champions. United now up 6-1 against Stallions, who are the team, I think it's safe to say, especially after that first half performance, who have posed the biggest threat so far here in the PFL bubble.
Yeah, I think for 45 minutes, Stallions were very competitive. It just goes to show match fitness perhaps a little bit lacking. And maybe that's the difference between Stallions and ADT, who are yet to meet, yet to play against each other. But what does this result do? If you want to talk league standings and statistics, it puts us in a situation where United City are going to take 12 points out of the available 12 points, but it does leave that second place wide open. Can Stallions still do it? It will be a big ask, a big ask. However, ADT and Kaya will still have a say. There are still some big games coming up between those sides, and it'd be interesting to see how the rest of the season plays out, even if United City do run away with the title. Second place is still going to be up for grabs.
Mendy now trying to put a flourish to it. Final touch was just too heavy, and that let him down. Sendra trying to drive forward here for Stallions, and Stallions, as we mentioned, have been improving as they spend time here in the bubble, and you have to feel that had this been a longer league, had this been a longer season, Stallions could have posed a bigger challenge, a better challenge to the bigger teams in the league later on.
Yeah, but as things are, it's about understanding the competition that you're in, and that's exactly what United City have done, taken every game as it comes and treated it as a tournament. They've treated it as, okay, there are 15 points available, we've got to win every single game. And they're doing that now with a little bit of style, as we see that number 7 go onto the board and the scoreline running up, much like we saw it against Maharlika.
Marañón, now with 3, now with the hat-trick. A lot of people pegged him to be as one of the favorites to win the Golden Boot. And honestly, he is competing with his teammates for the honor. Again, right place, right time, sliding that in, punishing the lack of defensive cohesion there from Stallions. And it has been a romp here for United in the second half.
And still able to commit 3 players into the box. 15 minutes to go. Can Stallions just shut up shop and stop United City from running the score up into double digits? I don't think Stallions have conceded 10 goals I don't think they've conceded 7 goals for a very, very long time.
Again, United are in a completely different level against all the opposition that they played here so far in the PFL bubble. And honestly, they couldn't add more. Remember, it was just 2-1 at the halftime break. But United have found a different gear here against a Stallion team that is still trying, still working, still huffing and puffing. But then when United are feeling it, they are almost impossible to stop here. Rare foray into the United box, and Noor! Side netting there. Fancied his chances, but Pintos had it covered all the way. Slew of changes here for United as they look to see this off. Villanueva will check in for Kane. Marasigan will check in for Minigishi. And Aristorenas will check in as well for Maniot. Not the type of second half Stallions would have envisioned after what they showed in that first half. But then again, full credit to United for everything that they have shown. The quality, the pace. As we have another substitution here coming from Stallions, so you have Ferrer coming in as well as Bonnie.
Stallion Laguna FC.
Again, just building a match fitness, match conditioning here. A lot of these players had never had the opportunity to really build that up due to the ongoing pandemic.
Yeah, and getting fit for high-level competitions these days is a real science. There's a whole programs and educations built around it, so it's not easy. Even for me, I thought this was a little bit unexpected. The fact that the fatigue has kicked in on the Stallion side, which is normally known for being relentlessly fit.
Do you feel that this second half performance is, or at least second half lull here for Stallions is a result of the fitness levels?
I wouldn't say fitness levels, perhaps fatigue. The game against Kaya would have been physically draining, and remember that the game before that as well, or the game against Mahalika, was also a physically draining game. So it's just a build-up of games in quick succession, and fatigue can really kick in. Whereas you can see with United City, with the luxury of rotation, are showing less signs of fatigue, and also it's the way that they play. It's very efficient. They do move the ball around and try to limit their movements to short, sharp movements.
Well, in terms of growing a club here in the Philippines, again, Ceres and United have been the gold standards for Philippine club football. And really, if you look at the story of Ceres, how they started out, and the vision and the dream, building up from a Division 2 team in the old UFL before becoming a force in the UFL and eventually conquering Southeast Asia, really. What can the budding clubs here learn from what United have done and are doing? As Schrock goes to the right side again, trying to add on to the goal count.
I think it's about being patient. If you want to build anything, it isn't done overnight. You need to know the industry that you're working in. You need to know the ins and outs of the operations day to day. It's not just about knowing the game itself. You need to know as much, if not more, about the off-pitch workings of operating a sports program or a football club. And then from there, just be patient, build stability, which I think both teams here have done, in fairness. Stallions are in this for the long haul, and obviously United City are as well, so it just takes time. I can still remember when Ceres was in the second division, and it just takes time. That's all it takes. Build a strong philosophy, build your program on good values, and you will get there. And it's, if one club can do it, then other clubs can do it as well.
Around the time when Ceres was in the second division, it was Stallions actually who were championship favorites and actually won titles at that time.
Yeah, and that's the cycle of football. And I am very sure I said it in the build-up to this PFL that there will be a time where Stallions do find themselves with a championship-winning squad. It's going to happen. They've got a philosophy. I think we saw that in phases during this first half, and it will come around again.
Kaya is looking at the result right now and understand that their chance for winning the title has evaporated with the second half performance against United. And we talk about the standard of Philippine football and how the Kaya actually has represented the country very well in AFC Cup competition, in Asian competition. And you have to feel that there's a tinge of disappointment for not being able to really clear out all the results that they've had prior. Again, very crucial draws meant they dropped crucial points. But then the pathway for Philippine clubs to represent Asia and improve exponentially with that type of experience is there up for grabs. And Stallions is going to be one of the teams who is knocking on the door for that opportunity next.
Well, there's still changes in Philippine football, and there's going to be changes of personnel, and it's going to be really interesting to see when things return to a little bit more regular form of football. What changes will these clubs make? So I know that some owners of clubs were hesitant to make big decisions during this particular round of the PFL. However, their intentions and their desire to want to win games is always going to be there. I think Stallions will be in contention. I think Kaya will be. Whether that will be for first or whether that will be second will really depend on the momentum of this side that we're seeing now.
United have built a team with a solid foundation throughout the years. Again, building from what they've had in Ceres, and they have two more great talents coming in, JARVIS and Robles coming in for Mike Ott and Stefan Schrock. And for United, you have to feel that it is already a job done. It's a round of applause for themselves because, again, no fans here in the PFL bubble. But I'm sure all the United fans out there, all the new fans and some of the old Ceres fans cheering on for their heroes can appreciate what they've all done, especially Stefan Schrock and Mike Ott, who have been so dangerous in this game, with Mike Ott notching a couple of goals, scoring from midfield.
And I don't think that it will take away from the game which a lot of people look forward to now, which is Kaya against United City. There will be no love lost in that game. It's going to be 22 passionate men playing out for everything. I don't think that United City will hold back at all. And it's kind of one of those things, if that's the day that you're going to lift the trophy, you also want to lift the trophy after winning.
And you have to feel that for Kaya, who wanted to challenge for the trophy, in fact, they felt that they had what it takes to upset United and potentially claim the title. It would be difficult for them knowing that because of the setup of the league, and they will lift the trophy after their last match, talking about United, Kaya will have to watch United lift the trophy right in front of them. So imagine the type of motivation that will prove for the club, for the management and the players to be even better moving forward.
Yeah, and you're right. And with that second spot really in contention, that game will have, apart from the feelings between these two clubs who have become very competitive rivals, but also Kaya will not want to miss out on that second spot. So it'd be interesting when we look back at the standings and try to predict out results, but it's going to be difficult to predict out results because different players will also deal with that sort of pressure differently.
United, good cross inside. Oh, and a snapshot there just over the bar. Referee says that this went over the bar, no touch from the keeper. Take a look at it one more time. Porteria lined that up. Ooh, and just clipped the bar going up. A gold standard of Philippine football. They aim to be the gold standard of Southeast Asian football once more. United have big aspirations and will now try and take on the best of Asia in the AFC Champions League soon enough. And if you're a Philippine football fan, you want the best representing your country. And easily, what we've seen so far in the duration of the entire league, this is the best the Philippines has to offer.
Yeah, and that's what I really like about the AFC competition, because it really shows the strength of the support that the fans of Philippine football give. Even for myself, whether it's Ceres or whether it's Kaya or whoever is representing club football in the Philippines, I always want them to do well, because it is a reflection of where we are and how we are developing as a footballing nation. And of course, a massive inspiration to young players who finally we are now seeing break into the professional circuit.
Well, Darren, you have worked very closely with some of the top young stars in the country in terms of talent and at such a young age, 18, 19-year-olds breaking through, being part of the ADT, finding ways into professional clubs. How far are we from seeing younger homegrown players breaking through and competing for the likes of a United, for the likes of a Kaya?
I think as long as there are clubs who are willing to give them a chance, for example, it's very difficult to put development first, and that's why ADT is a little bit special in that regard. But there are a lot of players out there who are potentially good enough, but they need those important games and that experience and exposure. So we need the PFL to grow. We need the stable base that it's being built on now. I think the bubble itself and these games being played is really solidifying the fact that the clubs are working together. They're now working together, and I would love to see this as a stepping stone in young players' careers moving on to better things. We've got really talented players out there. Stefan Strock, the Ott brothers, they all learnt how to play their football overseas. They've come back to their mother's home countries, and they've taught us a little bit. And we need to now produce players who are good enough to shine at this level and be picked up and gain more experience abroad, and then come back and do the same thing. And it will be a cycle. It will take time, as we said. Ceres were patient, and look where they are now. So I think if other clubs are patient with younger players, we can produce fantastic football players in this country.
Well, there's definitely no shortcut, especially when it comes to football, when it comes to development. It would take years, and sometimes the end goal may not be in sight, but commitment will definitely prove to be a difference maker.
Well, United City are giving Jordan Jarvis a run out again today. That's a young player who's been up and down, but in terms of his talent, it's always been there. And of course, the goalkeeper himself, another young player. So it is possible, and it would be nice to see those players inspire youngsters to break into this side. I still think ADT are first choice for young players at the moment because of the development. But of course, end goal is to play for a side like United City,
and to be able to contribute at a high level. Again, the future is bright for Philippine football, especially with teams like United leading the way. That's Pintos over there, who has represented the country in the last Southeast Asian Games. And of course, he had numerous ASCOs on both sides of the field now, former and current. And Stallions make this scoreline a bit more respectable here. And again, still not switching off here, talking about United. Just a few seconds away from being confirmed as the champions of the 2020 Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. United were always going to be one of the favorites, if not the favorite, to win the title, given their depth, given their star power, their proven winning ability. And they have taught us all a lesson here on what it takes to be a top club in the country. And that was just off the bar. Almost added it to make it 8.
But it looks as if all the changes from United City have stopped that little rampage that they were on when they were converting almost every attack. And Stallions are able to breathe a small sigh of relief. Only 2 minutes gone up for additional time. I think that's a fair reflection. And for Stallions, it's just regroup start thinking about the next game. And for United City, I'm sure they will celebrate, but they will be professional and they will want to do the job against Qatar as well.
Oh, and that was a good save there. Mendy trying to add on to it, trying to look for United's 8th. Again, very professional outing here for United. After what was a very worrying first half, what was said during the halftime break really made a difference. As United definitely went at it, they had an attacking lineup to start with and made Stallions pay.
I think United City just had to weigh it up. They were 2-1 up at half-time against Stallions. Arguably done enough to already get Stallions a little bit tired, or they tried to win the championship against the second best team in the country, Qatar. And I think that making the decision just to up their game in the first 10 minutes of this second half has paid off, and they've done very, very well.
Well, Pintus there, no fear, despite the on-rushing attacker. As we close out this game here, just a few seconds left. Again, such a commanding performance, such a great run on the way to the trophy again. Formerly said as United under their new banner, officially with their first title. Marañón trying to be a provider, and Mendy, I can guarantee you his teammates will give him grief over that for quite some time. And there you have it, champions of the Philippines, champions of the 2020 Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. United City FC getting it done in professional fashion, in ruthless fashion. They came out with a mission. They wanted to make sure that there was nothing going to come in between them and the title. No upsets this time. They were not going to slip. After a moment of worry, in that first half, they came out after the break, guns blazing, ruthless, incisive, and Stallions unable to cope. This is the gold standard of Philippine football. This is United City FC.
Well, it was a historic moment for United City. Newly formed, but with a very, very strong core of players who knew exactly what they needed to do. They were focused from game one. Maybe a slight wake-up call in the first game that they needed to step things up, and boy did they step things up. They went from good to better, and from better to the best. And they saved a huge performance for this second half against Stallions, even though Stallions did play their part, kept themselves in the game for the longest time, gave us a little bit of excitement with an equaliser early in the first half. But United City, I could say, deserved champions, and as you said, they are setting the standard, and now they have their moment. They can celebrate and enjoy this 12 out of 12 points, and just an incredible number of goals that they've managed to score.
Well, United came in with a mission, and they got it done in impressive fashion, in imposing fashion. Again, setting the bar here in the PFL for every team that has the dream, the audacity to challenge UCFC for the title. Well, the gauntlet has been set, and United will enjoy this moment. No lifting the trophy yet. That will happen in the final match, in their final match, and that will happen right in front of who were supposed to be the closest rivals for the title, setting us up already a year early for what is sure to be an interesting rebuild period for Kaya. 7-1 for United City Football Club, your champions of the 2020 Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. My name is Paulo De Rosario. Thank you very much for joining me and my partner Darren Hartman tonight, and we hope to see you next time.
What a strike!
Forteria still. Forteria with a great pass.
It's the opener!